Stadium when they face South Sudan. Special guest also in studio all the way from Gaza, min Palestini, Mr. Hamza Chalan, who is a Gaza journalist. He has documented so much. And once again, Palestinians, the Gazans in particular, over the last year, as a result of the genocide executed by the settler colony on the occupied territories, it is the Gazan journalists, Hamza and many others, who have been showing us the truth, unedited, unfiltered, and you have opened up the eyes of the entire world. And hence, there are hundreds of millions of people all over the world supporting a free Palestine. Hamza, assalamu alaikum, ahlan wa sahlan, jazakallah khair.
أهلا وسهلا السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
We are so honored to have you.
My pleasure. It's a pleasure for me to be here in South Africa. I'm very happy, very excited. You're going to interview me. You're going to ask me questions.
Absolutely.
I'm going to answer all the questions.
Inshallah. We need a series here, Brother Hinayat. I think perhaps maybe from the perspective of the actual tour being coordinated by Salam Media, important news and media house in South Africa, very cutting edge in respect of your current affairs and geopolitics. I do follow some of your threads and your lives on social media. I do. Maybe just contextualize Hamza's visit and his tour to South Africa.
Well, Hamza's tour to South Africa has been a follow-up, and it couldn't have come at a better time. We just over a year ago, we know the genocide has started unfolding, and it was November last year where we had Dr. Max Gilbert.
Yes.
And at that point in time, again, an opportune moment at the time when the medical services and the hospitals came under severe pressure in Gaza. You will recall it was one hospital after the other. And when one looks at putting this entire genocide into context, and you look at the modus operandi of this brutal Zionist regime and how they've worked, they started off with hospitals, they've moved on to educational institutions, but more importantly, the targeting of journalists. And being in the media space, being in independent media, we managed to secure Yumna al-Said.
Yes.
And immediately after that, we focused on Hamza. Now, Hamza's is very, very different from what you would see or you would hear from other journalists, considering Yumna was part of mainstream media, which was Al Jazeera. But what Hamza brings along is he brings an independent and, as you mentioned, unedited, raw view, bringing the reality. And for a long time, Salam Media, we've been relentless. We've been non-stop in our coverage of this genocide. And for a long time, we've lost contact with many people in Gaza. And as a result, which is obvious, breakdown, there's no communications. So it became very, very difficult. But for us to truthfully report, we needed to connect with people. And we needed to connect with the right people. And one of them has been our brother Hamza Chalan. And bringing him here again in our quest to get the truth, to get the message out, but more importantly, to bring out the harsh realities of this genocide. And at this point in time, looking at this genocide, one day even worse than the previous one, and it is ongoing for well over 400 days right now. And we will continue at Salam Media, and at the same time, taking Hamza right across the length and breadth of the country. People are crying out. People want to know what is happening. We cannot lose momentum. We know there has been fatigue in more ways than one. And I know at VOC, as you mentioned, you've dedicated every Friday to the liberation of Palestine, but it's not the case in other parts around the country.
Yes.
And we're seeing that fatigue creeping in from solidarity organizations, from media, from activists. But we need to continue regardless, because this genocide is not stopping. It's getting more brutal by the day.
It is. Hamza, the work that you've done, along with Mu'taz Bisan, Western mainstream media, they tried it quite a bit. They are still pushing this false narrative that Gaza does not have any journalists. If there are any reports coming out, these are social media influencers. So there was a direct attack by mainstream media on the credibility of Ghazan journalists. That did not deter you from doing the work that you did, because along with you and many of the other Ghazan journalists, you opened the eyes of the world for us to understand and accept beyond a shadow of doubt that this is a genocide, it is a domicide, and plenty of the actions of Israeli occupation forces can even be classified as a Holocaust. So, what you have done will leave an undelible mark behind in our minds. Wallahi. Because our eyes are open. And now we've seen the truth. So no matter what Sky News, BBC, ABC, CNN, no matter what they show us, our eyes are open. Our eyes are open. So we want to pay tribute to you. We want to honor you and the Ghazan journalists and all those fallen heroes in Gaza, in the West Bank, and now even in Lebanon, because we see the same murderous attacks of innocent civilians also taking place. I cannot even begin to imagine what your experiences were like in Gaza as you were trying to document this unfolding genocide.
First thing, this is my job to make a change on the ground on Gaza Strip. I'll start by saying that I lost more than 150 of my journalists colleagues, and I will start with my friend Rushdie Sarraj, who died in his house because of an Israeli airstrike. And I'll also mention Hamza Dahdouh, the son of Al Jazeera correspondent Wa'il Dahdouh.
Yes.
Hamza lost his mom, his brothers, his sisters before he died. He was out documenting a story in Rafah and the southern areas with a photographer, and then they targeted him in a car with a photographer, and then they died. So I will start saying, introducing myself first. My name is Hamza Chalan, and I worked with national and international media platforms such as RT, TRT, and DR from Denmark, different media platforms. I worked with also media platforms here in South Africa. So I'll also mention me before the war. I was living in Malaysia in 2014, and I returned back in 2019 to Gaza. And I wanted to make a change. So I started creating social media content in English about Gaza. That time I wanted to show the beauty of Gaza that time. So me starting that initiative made a huge change in the ground during the war. Many influencers, many people start creating English content from Gaza and deliver to the outside world.
Yes.
So me, Mu'taz, Yumna Sayyid, all these, they made a huge difference from a small initiative. So for you to say that they directly targeting Palestinian journalists, it's actually yes, because they understand the media can make huge changes on the ground. They're a very powerful tool to achieve freedom. But I would like to ask a question. Who other than the Palestinians would cover the war? Since Israel is not allowing
Correct.
any international media to enter Gaza Strip. How come? So since there's no international media in Gaza, the local will take this. Influencers. Now the social media, as I told you, is a powerful tool. Your eyes are open because it's a new age where you can see the truth through social media. We all scrolling on social media. So it's not up to any international media platform to fake news anymore. So it's the truth coming out from the people, influencer, journalists, all, it's the truth. It's all the same. What happened in Gaza and what is still happening in Gaza, no one can ignore. It's a genocide. The most of the victims in Gaza were children, women's. When you see I was documenting the war with my camera, I want to correct you. I'm not only a journalist, I'm a filmmaker first before being a journalist. So I was working on the ground, covering the stories of the beat. I'm from Gaza. I'm born and raised in Jabalia. And of course, you all hearing about Jabalia right now.
Correct.
What's happening. So I know my people suffering very well. But at the same time, I have to be very objective. So what I witnessed is actually more than a genocide, because when you see a whole residential building full of civilians, children, women's, completely destroyed, massacres, what we witnessed. They targeted hospitals, churches, schools. You know what? They asked the people of Gaza to evacuate their houses and go to the southern areas. And people, they're forced to leave because they're targeting them directly in their houses. So they went to schools and they went to hospitals. They target hospitals, and invaded hospitals and burned the hospitals. And the same with the schools, despite the hunger, the starvation. So it's clear this is more than a genocide. They're targeting professional people, professors, doctors, journalists, and they're targeting professional filmmakers. My friend Rushdie Sarraj, one of the best filmmakers in Gaza. Why they kill him? Why they kill Hamza Chalan? Why they kill many, many, many others? It's not only them, many of the professional people. They want to just wipe out Gaza. This is what happened. It's not only on the people, on the buildings. There's no universities now in Gaza exist. No universities. So it's basically insane. What my experiencing, it was insane. We worked under extreme conditions. We was sleeping next to dead bodies, and there's a lot to share. Of course, we're going to talk more and more about
Inshallah,
it.
yes.
Inshallah.
Most definitely. In conversation with Gaza filmmaker and journalist.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
It's right now, Hamza?
Yes, right.
Right?
Yes.
And Brother Inaid Wadi, executive producer and also journalist anchor with Salam Media. A fascinating conversation. Engage with us via the WhatsApp line 082-9913-913. We are all collectively calling for a free Palestine, for the illegal occupation, genocide, domicide to end, for Israeli occupation forces to not only remove themselves from the occupied West Bank and Palestine, but the illegal entity that is so-called Israel, an illegal entity. They must be red carded from, FIFA, UEFA, International Olympic Committee. Stronger motivation behind this action. And we should continue to pressurize our governments as well. Take a stand. We want BDS to become legislation in South Africa. Close the Israeli embassy. Send the ambassador back. We do not want to engage economically, politically, socially with an illegal entity. So let us know via the WhatsApp line your comments for Hamza, the lion of Palestine, of Gaza. He's a filmmaker and journalist in studio with us. We're back shortly.
At Melomed, it's more than just a life, just a patient, just a condition that's reduced to the fine print. It's your life, where every second is of infinite value and requires the highest level of quality private healthcare. Melomed houses some of South Africa's top specialists, including our renowned cardiac and stroke centers of excellence. So when you require private hospital care in Cape Town, choose Melomed. Quality and affordable healthcare.
Mitchell's Plain. Get ready for flame grilled flavor. Steers Engine Rondevlei is open. Find us at the Engine Walter Vreden Garage, corner of Victory Drive and Walter Vreden Parkway in the Rondevlei Park. From our iconic flame grilled burgers and our famous hand-cut chips, we've got just what you're craving. Treat yourself to our epic specials and loaded combos and cool down with a creamy milkshake or an ice cream cone. Order from Steers Engine Rondevlei now.
One child, one dream.
A journey with Africa Muslims Agency that began 3 years ago has changed the lives of Syrian and Palestinian refugee children beyond their dreams. Help them to continue their education by sponsoring a student at the Amman School of Excellence in Lebanon for 25,200 Rand per year. Education at Amman can provide a brighter future for refugee families.
AMA, empowering, educating, inspiring.
The Voice of the Cape Festival is here. Join us for a weekend filled with live performances, incredible food, and an electrifying atmosphere that you won't want to miss. Mark your calendars. Tickets are selling fast, so grab yours today from any of these Muchachos branches, Walter Vreden, Observatory, and Kronboom, or online at www.ticketpro.co.za. Don't miss out on the event of the year. See you there.
Hey, I've been feeling really sluggish lately. Need something to boost my energy.
I know exactly what you need. I've been taking Golden Shilajit and it's changed my life.
Golden Shilajit? Never heard of it?
It's an ancient herbal supplement that's been used for centuries. It's amazing for strength, stamina, digestion, bone health, arthritis, and inflammation.
That sounds incredible. And what about heart and brain health?
Golden Shilajit supports those too. Plus, it helps with fertility, diabetes, high blood pressure, and will boost your testosterone naturally.
Wow, that's impressive. Where can I get it?
Call Shabir at 071-743-2886 or find them on social media. Make sure to get the authentic Golden Shilajit for the best results.
Golden Shilajit, nature's key to a healthier, stronger you.
Take advantage of these yalla deals at MJ Ali Optometrist. Hurry on over and celebrate with us. Single vision spectacles only 750 Rand, bifocals only 895 Rand, or multifocals only 1,500 Rand. These cash offers include a frame to the value of 450 Rand, 2 clear plastic lenses, and an eye test. This strictly cash offer is valid until the 31st December 2024. Visit us at any of our branches or at mjalioptometrist.com or call us 021-933-4999.
Welcome to the Voice of the Cape on 91.3 FM stereo. Your station for faith, culture, and community. Tune in. Stay inspired. PM Drive, where minds collide. Participate in deep, thought-provoking, and cutting-edge discussions. This is PM Drive.
In conversation with Hamza Chalan, who is a filmmaker and journalist from Gaza. He documented the unfolding genocide, which we continue to see unfold before our very eyes. The power of social media. It's literally changed the game. Even if steps were taken to disturb the algorithm, it doesn't matter. And shadow banning accounts and having accounts removed from the Meta platform, that was temporary. There's no way you can hide the truth forever. At some point, the truth surfaces, and oh my, our eyes are open. Also in studio with us, Brother Inayat Wadi, executive producer, anchor and journalist, Salam Media. Hamza, we cannot even begin to imagine, wallahi al-azim, what you experienced in Gaza. We watch the videos on social media and we are horrified. We see the images and our family members and communities and friends have been sharing this. But wallahi, you've been experiencing it. Yeah. You were down on the ground and you used the power of filmmaking to show microscopically exactly what has been happening.
Yes, of course. This is my job, and these are my people. I have to do this in a very nice way where the world can accept it. So for me, being in Gaza, experiencing what I have experienced since October 7th, it was absolutely out of control. It's something no one can handle, because I experienced 2008 war when I was young, and I experienced also 2012, 2014, many escalations, many invasions, a lot. I never seen something like this. It's above international law. It's above humanity. It's above everything. So we tried our best to deliver what we really did. We delivered. So, but we was under very extreme conditions, as I mentioned, and we was actually scared because it's death. We was working, as I told you, in hospitals to find electricity, because in the whole Gaza Strip you can't find electricity. So journalists gathered at the hospitals, specifically at Al Shifa Hospital, to charge their phones, laptops, cameras, so they could work. From there, I have a very tough experience. We was sleeping on the ground without blankets, without anything, and just in front of the emergency section where the injured people and casualties arrive. So I have seen and document a lot of this. So the most and the majority of the victims are children and women, and this is a very heartbreaking as Palestinian filmmaker or journalist to be working with. So you're going to deal that maybe one of your relative will be between those casualties, and it happens. It happens not one time. It happens 300 times, where you hear that from the news, or you suddenly see some of your relative or your friends in front of you without hand or dying, or it's unimaginable, something out of your mind. People, when you see people in pieces, especially when it comes to civilians, normal people, they didn't do anything. It's a collective punishment. It's a collective punishment when you hear a very popular doctor serving in engineering, for example, and they kill him, or a journalist, or a filmmaker, or doctors. You feel that they don't want you to grow, because there's a positive side about Gaza. They are very smart people, and they are very intelligent, because I think this is my perspective, this is my opinion about it, that the Israelis saw that the Palestinians grow really fast, that they want to make a change. They wanted to make a huge change. So to stop them by doing this, they committed a genocide, and this is actually stupid. Committing a genocide is actually against humanity. How come people will support them? They will never find support, because it's a Palestinian land, and they take it over, and they committing a genocide. It's not the first genocide. In 1948, they committed a genocide, but without social media. Now we are in a new age. You're talking about a genocide on camera in front of the whole world. Everyone saw what's happened in Gaza. Everyone saw. So for me, Gazans will achieve freedom sooner or later.
Yes,
because they're still standing, and they're still doing their best to survive. Doctors until now inside Al Shifa Hospital trying their best to operate after the Israeli forces invaded the hospital, and when they left, they burned it, the whole hospital. And Palestinians, you will find them remove the rubble aside, and trying to operate again. That means, and the only thing you will realize that the owners of the land, they're the only owners, because what happened to the Palestinians the past year, since October 7 until now, it's ongoing until now. This is the crazy part. Nobody can stop what's going on in Gaza. You will find that Palestinians, they didn't give up. That means they will achieve freedom. When you not giving up, you will achieve what you want. This is what we told each other, right? When you go into sport, for example, or your career, everybody's advising you, don't give up. And Palestinians doing the same thing. They're not giving up. So I think my people will achieve freedom sooner or later.
Inshallah. That's not even positive. That is conviction, it's resilience, it's commitment, and inshallah, Palestine will be free, will be liberated, and the occupation forces will be removed in totality.
I'm sorry, I just want to correct you. It's Palestine is free, already free. I'm just saying, because the only people who can speak up without fear and talk and do whatever they want is actually Palestinians. The outside world is not free.
There we go. Absolutely. I think from that perspective, we thank Ghazan, journalist, filmmaker, Hamza Chalan, as well as Brother Inayat Wadi from Salam Media. It's just gone 2 minutes after 5. We're 2 minutes over. Time for the headlines with Kothar Sambo.
Live from Cape Town. This is the voice of the Cape.
This news bulletin is kindly brought to you by Bray's Meat Market.
In your top stories, this hour, Gaza journalist shares his journey about life in Gaza amid the ongoing Israeli aggression, and Cape Town calls for rejection of Eskom's 44% tariff hike. This is your 5 o'clock bulletin. I'm Kothar Samba. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. Starting with Palestine, to honor Palestinian journalists who have been killed, wounded or kidnapped by Israel. The government media office organized a solidarity vigil yesterday in Gaza. This comes after the Israeli occupation forces have killed 188 journalists, injured 396, and are currently detaining 40 known journalists. Speaking across the VOC airwaves today, a Gaza journalist, Hamza Chalan, shares his journey of life in Gaza as a journalist under the brutal Israeli siege.
What I witnessed is actually more than a genocide, because when you see a whole residential building full of civilians, children, women, completely destroyed, massacres, what we witnessed. They targeted hospitals, churches, schools. You know what? They asked the people of Gaza to evacuate their houses and go to the southern areas. And people, they're forced to leave because they're targeting them directly in their houses. So they went to schools, and they went to hospitals. They target hospitals, they invaded hospitals and burned the hospitals. And the same with the schools. Despite the hunger, the starvation.
Staying afield, Dr. Hussam Abu Safia, director of Kamal Adwan Hospital, reports that the hospital remains under Israeli military siege, adding that media reports about medical aid having entered the hospital are misleading. This comes after weeks of waiting. Ambulances were stripped of food, medical teams were blocked, and only 7 out of 40 medical supply boxes were allowed to enter. Back at home, Telkom has completed the first phase of its retrenchment process, affecting 1,800 jobs. Despite this, the Telkom's giant reported a 1.9% revenue growth to 21 billion rand, driven by strong revenue performance. The CEO says the focus is on cutting operational cost and improving revenue mix to build a resilient company.
The second part is the IT portion of our business is remaining stable. A One Telkom approach to ensure that we reshape BCX and ensure that we acquire more of the opportunities, leveraging the strengths of One Telkom to gain the rightful footprint that BCX deserves in the ecosystem.
In other news, modernizing South Africa's VAT reporting systems can enhance revenue collection and reduce non-compliance. The CEO of VAT Modernization SA, Shannon Friedman, points to the benefits of automated e-invoicing in boosting efficiency, reducing fraud, and increasing tax revenue. Improved VAT systems are reportedly vital for building a capable state, enabling better public services like healthcare and education. And finally, with just over 3 weeks to go until the biggest cultural event on the social calendar will commence, the VOC Summer Festival Roadshow will continue this Friday, 4 until 9 p.m. at Wembley in Belgravia. The tickets will be available on site, 30 Rand for adults and 15 Rand for pensioners and kids. Save the date, Athlone Stadium, 5, 6, 7, 8 December. In reminder of next Salah time, Maghrib will be at 7:33. And in a recap of your top stories, a Gaza journalist shares his journey about life in Gaza amid the ongoing Israeli aggression, and Cape Town calls for rejection of Eskom's 44% tariff hike. That's end of this news bulletin. We'll be back at 12:30 with the latest headlines. For more stories, visit our website at vocfm.co.za. Connect with us on the VOC app or follow us on social media via Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, or on your WhatsApp channel. For VOC News, I'm Kotha Sambo.
This news bulletin was kindly brought to you by Bray's Meat Market. Bray's Meat Market, an established supplier in the halal meat industry, now offering so much more with the development of the ultra-modern, unique shopping environment. Bray's Meat Market has redefined convenient shopping, proudly